broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV.
The first one of 2015.
The first one of 2015. I'm Kathy Kelly, but this show is not about me. It's about the band. Everyone plays an instrument here.
She's doing the gimmick.
She's doing Sami Zayn.
She's referencing the first segment.
Yeah.
On the garbage drums, True Hobo.
Garbage? I'll play the garbage can.
Garbage can drums.
Yeah, I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
What do I play?
You play the
Mark
fool.
Donica plays the
Kazoo.
the flute.
The kazoo.
The recorder.
Don't say it. I know what you want to say. Don't even.
What is he going to
I'll tell you
say?
after. I'll tell you after. It's very inappropriate. It's very, very inappropriate.
I know what you're going to say.
Thank you.
Hashtag meatloaf.
Hashtag meatloaf. Very good. Kathy, it's been 4 weeks since I've been on the bloody show, and we start off. There you go. We start the show off the rails already.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I can't believe I had to miss our evolution, or at least talking about our evolution.
I can't believe you
But
missed
you
it.
watched it.
I did.
Our
I
recap
watched
of
it, then I watched the recap. Who's this Ricker guy?
You know,
kidding.
just some guy.
Just some guy?
on the
Stay on your
Craigslist.
seat.
Yeah. Well,
Only
actually,
cost
I did
a
see.
few dozen roses to get him to do the after show.
Doesn't surprise me. I did see a comment on the after show that the four of us would have a really good show if
Yeah.
it was Ricker and the three of us. I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the few positive comments. That's good. I calls him like I sees him.
Yeah,
my
man,
gosh.
I wish I could have talked in depth about it. Maybe we could still do it. Maybe we could still do a thing. You know, if you
We
wanna talk about it.
should talk about the last couple of weeks since
Sure.
we
Let's
weren't
do
here
a
to
little bit of
recap them.
recap. We can do that.
I mean, Christmas was pretty much just a recap show.
But it did have the
stuff,
the
yeah.
women's title rematch.
Yes. And then we also had last week with the women main eventing.
Yeah.
So,
Big thing.
That's a
Yeah.
really, I mean, just solid show last week.
yeah. Last
good.
week, I almost liked last week better than this week.
Well,
Ooh,
I don't know. I got off on the wrong foot right on the top with the kind of botch in the tag match with Ty Dillinger and Sin Cara.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, but that's
He was going for an ankle. That's what it was. Dillinger countered. He went for an angle. Sin Cara rolled through. Dillinger was off balance. He rolled as well.
That's what it is.
That's what it was.
And that's how you say
That's
that.
what I see it, Ventura.
But it was a good show last week.
Yes.
It was a super solid show last week.
Yes.
Undertaker Punk in the live chat says he's the lead tambourine.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're adding more folks to the NXT after
Sure,
show. then.
everybody name an instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Steven, are you on the YouTube chat or the regular
YouTube chat, man. The
Yeah,
YouTube
it's
chat's
not-
where it's at.
It's not loading for me. It's
Wah,
bizarre.
wah.
You got the
Yeah.
slow internet.
Well.
Negative 4G.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah,
slow.
it's bad. I've got two. I'm so slow. I've got 2G. As bad as terrible. But
Well, I fly like a G6.
G6,
Like a
G6.
So this week,
Yeah, let's get to it. There's a show.
glad to be back.
Absolutely.
The 3-man band sitting here in studio.
Oh, can I?
Bam!
Not
don't-
gimmick infringement at all.
No,
Not
no.
anymore. They're done.
Well,
He's gone
Reprising it.
to the win.
So we start off this week's show with Sammy's return, the NXT champion. He comes back, and Neville comes out, says he wants his rematch, and then Regal says that it will happen next week.
they're building this show for the first Wednesday show to be huge.
It's almost as big as a special, like how much they're hyping it, how much we heard about it tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, next week. Next week.
When is it going to be? Wednesday at what time?
I don't know. I don't know. Did they say it?
Actually-
Did they say it during the show?
I don't know.
8 p.m. Eastern.
I'm joking, but I don't know if he is.
No, he's done.
5 p.m. 5 p.m. our time.
5 p.m. our time.
Right.
8 p.m. Eastern.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
hobo, everybody.
Hi!
He's been gone the entire show. He just came back.
I just got here.
Yeah, he just got here.
So what do you think about this rematch next week? Excited?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I don't think it will be clean at all. I think it'll be good for a good portion of it. But also the thing is they have an hour again. So this, as much as they're hyping it like it is a full show, it's not. It's an hour. And there's a lot of big matches next week that they're planning.
Yeah.
So they're usually good with utilizing their time. But I don't think that the match will get more than 10, 15 minutes. And then it'll be super solid for the majority of it, and then it'll be like Owens coming out and ruining the finish, sort of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that does make some sense. I don't know. I mean, is it possible that Neville and Owens somehow
No.
find each other? You don't think so?
Like lowered expectations find each other?
Yes.
That's a Mad TV callback.
I'm just saying, could Neville finally go all the way?
To bad guy?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, with the rumors that he's supposed to be the next person to be called up,
Really?
I don't.
Yeah, there was that rumor.
Yeah, there was also
rumors flying around.
There's a rumor that the Ascension was going to get called up.
But all I see are these Road Warrior guys.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't even know what it is.
They're like Demolition, but not.
If we have any time at the end of the show, there's a lot of stuff that I would like to talk about, including that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of news the past couple weeks. The Ascension did get called up. They had
They have debuted.
they debuted on Raw this past week.
They've been on Main Event.
Devin Taylor debuted on The Bachelor on Monday.
But it seems like they're kind of trying to keep her in the collective consciousness because she's been back in a big way. Like she did an in-ring tonight or last week, and then she's doing all the backstage.
I'm
not
surprised at how
mentioning
long
it.
she was off NXT TV for, considering she was only there for one night on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
She was really
Well, I mean, that's
really?
all. Like,
Yeah.
there's the pre-production, there's the post of having to do all of the interviews afterward. Like I would figure she
For The Bachelor?
for the Bachelor, she was only there for like she got eliminated first, right?
Yeah.
So or one of the
She
first.
probably would have been
Maybe she
busy
came
for
back.
a week.
Yeah, about a week.
Yeah.
A figure, and then any pre or post things that she had with her agency or whatever. It's that not on silent, Kathy
Sorry.
Kelly. That's okay. You're important. Please talk to us. Please talk to us. Says everybody on the internet. But we're what? That was weird. I'm back. That's enough. I mean, they record how many episodes in a night? They record a month's worth of episodes in a night.
Yeah.
That's a lot of TV to miss. You miss a month, and they probably were phasing her out because they didn't know how long she was going to be gone.
Yeah.
So she was gone for part of the first two, or like the previous two recording sessions. So it felt a lot longer than it was, but it was really only probably a couple of weeks.
Yeah. She's back.
Yeah, real time and TV time are two different things.
Especially with NXT.
Yeah. With all sort of filming, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Vaudevillains promo before the first match. What do you guys think?
It's solid.
Yeah.
They're always super solid.
Yeah.
One of the things that has been like, there's a lot of end of the year lists that have been coming out that different dirt sheets have been putting out, and I saw there was one of who's ready to make it in 2015. The Vaudevillains were on it, and one of the comments is just would the gimmick work on a main roster sort of thing.
Yeah.
And with how silly a lot of the stuff is up there, it seems like they would fit right in. They're the direct opposite of what the Ascension is right now. The Ascension they're kind of silly. They're wearing leather shoulder pads, and they got the eye paint and everything, and the red paint, and they were fine. They were fine. Like they were doing all of the promos before they debuted, where it revealed their look for the new show, and then they had the match last week with Itami and Balor, and they were back to their regular stuff, and
Yeah,
that seemed a lot more real and serious than the other stuff. So with the vaudevillains, all they have to do is stick to their guns and leave them the way they are, because with their look, they fit that look way too well to not make it. And this promo just showed how quick and simple they have to do and perform to get across to the audience. And the audience gets them right away.
But there's a gap between this small arena show and a very large arena show.
Agreed.
And the question in my mind is, do they have enough to reach the cheap seats? Do they have enough of everything, really? Is their moveset big enough? Is their physicality big enough? Just, it's such a big difference. And I feel the ascension. The way they wrestle, they are ready for the big crowd.
No, I agree.
Because the way
I'm not saying that they're not. I'm saying the disconnect between the gimmick that they think they need on the main roster versus the one that they had on NXT.
I'm not questioning the gimmick so much as I'm questioning how these guys are utilizing the gimmick and how they use the ring more than anything else. Are they able to transition to a larger show? With a larger, by far and away, a much larger audience, and still bring that audience down to the ring with them. Well, it's one of the most difficult things to do is to take people who are absolutely as far away as possible and bring them into the ring with you while you're wrestling.
And I think we can talk about that when we get to the match.
Yeah.
And this all came from, how's the promo? Good. Solid. I haven't been for a week, so I apologize if I'm chatty. I'm sorry if I'm chatty.
If you're chatty Kathy.
Damn, we did it. There's a comma. Rimmer.
Wait, I like this table.
Yeah, no, we're shorter. Yeah,
Whoa.
it's not far. It's not as far anymore. It feels like B, but with a little bit more room.
Yeah.
Or C, but shorter.
Yeah, we don't have the tall seats in C. Yeah,
vaudevillains if you guys are listening, we got a new studio.
Yeah, we did. It's pretty.
It's got a strobe light floor.
I'm afraid to break the floor.
Strobe light floor.
I'm a little worried.
Can we play Darude Sandstorm, please?
Anywho.
I would like to play... Can I get Smooth Criminal?
Can we talk about the first match of the night?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Speaking of the music that started the show.
Hideo Itami versus Curtis Axel.
Hi, Curtis Axel.
We saw Curtis come in last week and request this match from William Regal. I guess not this match, but he said he wanted a match. He wanted to come down to NXT and prove himself. Didn't end up working out so well for him as Hideo won.
This is just the beginning for Curtis. It's a...
He's doing the Tyson Kidd run.
He's doing the Boris Clay run.
Titus O'Neil.
Like, this will just be the first one. And this is also the first time when we're getting to see Hitami by himself.
Yeah,
like legitimately by himself, and now that the Ascension thing has kind of had its bookmark, that they can finally just sort of show who they are. Tommy's really now he's got, instead of just coming out and being in tights, he's got his ring gear. He's got a special font. Like he's
got a robe.
Yeah,
like an actual prize fighter. He's got a robe.
He's got his look and his aura about him is more than just, okay, here he is now. And Hobo was commenting, he was a striker. Like, his fighting style is kick. He said it himself. But we're seeing more suplexes, more holds, fitting in between all of the strikes, and it's really impressive to go up against somebody like Curtis Axel, who has the pedigree.
Especially a bigger guy. A bigger guy, you got to use more of your tool bag. You know, there's so many tools that every wrestler has in their repertoire, let's call it. And for some guys, you can break out the small stuff. Really not a big competition. They're maybe just another benchmark, so to speak. But for other guys, you got to pull out the stops. I think Curtis Axel, for Hideo Itami, was the bigger, badder fish. So he had to work harder to out-wrestle Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
Certainly did.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in the match, and really just gross. Axel was really, some of his hits were just like, oh, why would you do that to him? Even though they looked really good, but they weren't, like, looking at them again, it wasn't a huge hit. Like the running knee that he cut off Hideo with was just. It looked gross at first impact, and then when they showed the replay from the other side, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad at all.
He was just a terrible twosome of zero respect and overwhelming strength. Yeah. Just everything he did was so much stronger than Itami, and he just did not care about him because he was the veteran.
Yeah.
Sees Itami as a threat.
Yeah.
but almost as, much threat as Goliath saw David. Not much of a threat at all until that rock comes flying at your head.
This shows why everybody was so hot on Axel when he first came in, and why everybody kind of wants him to make it. They just keep giving him bad story stuff.
Was everyone hot on him when he came in?
When he first came in, when he was in NXT, yeah. Mr. Perfect's kid, Joe Hennig.
In NXT. I thought you meant like on the main roster.
Well, that too. Once he finally showed up and was like separated from the Nexus, his ability showed through.
He can work the crowd really well too. He was whipping them into a frenzy. Every opportunity he got after he beat down a Tommy, he looked at the audience and brought them into this by saying, "You all are garbage. You're garbage. I don't even know why I'm here."
Why are you cheering for him? He's nothing. He's a piece of crap. But he's worth WWE's time if they actually give him the time, and hopefully his time in NXT will sort of like he said in this promo last week, he wants to relaunch his career.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll give him the opportunity because he gets to work. He actually gets to work as opposed to, hey, just go out. I mean, we got this new guy. Can you help him out?
Well, this is the question. Is it going to be more of him getting incorporated like Tyson Kidd, where he's there almost every week, just like the Sami Zayns and Adrian Neville's, or is it going to be more like a Tyson Kidd Cesaro, 1 or 2 time appearances and then be done?
That, I think, is the fun question, because we simply don't know the answer.
We don't.
We don't know how long he's going to be down here. I mean, the last guy we saw was here for a few shows. I mean, a month's worth of taping at the most, and then he was gone.
Yeah.
But who knows? You could see a regular down here. Brodus Clay was down there until he was released. So you never know how long somebody could be.
Both of those guys came in the title picture.
Yeah.
Or at least with the title holder. Whereas it looks like Axel is starting from the middle. Like he's not just debuting and trying to cut his teeth. He's starting right in the thick of it with the most popular people, and hopefully that can help him build.
I mean, you can't start at the top right now. You have Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn,
Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens already did that.
Yeah.
You can't interfere in that space.
But you've got to think about it from an emotional standpoint for Curtis Axel. He's obviously been around longer than all these guys. He knows everybody on the main roster. He wants to relaunch his career, and he's having to start from the bottom of the bottom. NXT. He's got to work the guys who aren't even in the title picture. That's how he sees it.
It's a terrible joke, but I want to say it anyway. And it's because I feel bad for the man. If he really wanted to start it from the bottom, he would have gone against CJ Parker.
Well, I know.
And I hate that I have to say that, because that was another thing last week where he deserves way more than he's being given. Yeah. Like, he's the established guy that the new guys have to beat, but he is becoming less and less established. Where he has a great character. He made the change. Everybody was into it. Everybody's still into it. And you even got his fan section that was doing the peace thing last week. The Parker section, he is way too talented to be wasted on squashes, and I hope beyond hope that he gets more.
You never know. You never know what might happen.
And the fact that there's too many people right now. There really is too many people.
They have such a saturated roster right now.
It's a weird problem in that they have too many people and not enough people. Because right now we just finished everybody rematching everybody else. There's not enough people to have fresh matches, but there's too many people to have fresh people come in. It's a weird problem to have.
I think they have enough space to have fresh matches. It's just about having fresh feuds where you're having those guys that are elevated so high against, guys that are technically at the same level as them. So
I think they need to start having matches at the beginning of the show between people that nobody's ever seen before. Just 2 guys, nobody's seen, and that's it. Because it's starting to be too much story. There's not anywhere for anybody to get in when it's all story. So you have one section that's not story. Exhibition matches. Just have them go in, wrestle around.
Like a shoot?
Not a shoot, but an exhibition. Yeah. Nothing on the line except bragging rights.
They're trying to build that. Naturally, I do have we'll get to it.
It's like boxing. You got to start somewhere. You got to 0, 0, 0. You got to get at least a 1 or a 1 or a 1. Something's got to happen.
When you have so few titles and so many guys, I guess you do have to do that unless
Main roster.
you come up with ideas.
Or you get
like,
Main
a
roster.
whole other hour. But that's the problem we have with the Raw. The main roster
I know.
is saturation. You got too much crap going on, and it's watering down the product.
Yeah, the Authority's back. Oh, I'm not bitter. Anyway, one of my
I just want to say this, how they completely crapped on every story that happened since the Authority went out. That was actually my favorite. Ho ho Hogan, bleh. Like seriously, you managed to crap on everything. You guys are amazing. Brass balls.
No, it's the brass ring. You've got to hit the brass ring.
Around us. Never mind.
The Atami brass grapefruits. The Atami Axel match was fun. One of my the ending was great. It was the catching the kick into the perfect plex into the, what was it, the Owada kick?
It was a snapmare into oh what a kick.
They said, oh, what a kick, so it's the Owada kick.
Oh,
That's
what a kick.
awesome.
That's Japanese, I'm sure.
It's terrible.
What he could have used out of that out of the perfect plex was just something to throw him off just before the snapmare. Like if he had him for the snapmare and he just brought up a knee real quick right into his head, it would have thrown him off just enough for him not to get up.
Yeah.
Like it was a
little bit too much of a space.
The believability.
Yeah.
You gotta throw him off a little bit more before you're able to like slow him down and level him with a kick.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of teases, that him teasing the go to sleep is gonna be, I wonder how long they're gonna drag that out.
People are having like a very positive physical reaction to this, and all I'm going is, who cares?
Well, no, it's a thing where Punk took the move sort of out of respect, and then now that Punk's gone, that frees up the move, and then you get a chance to see a guy be who he was, and also the way that it was presented, that the tag match during our Evolution was so just like, and I know you didn't like it as much as you liked the rematch,
right?
But I flippin' loved that match because of what they did. That wasn't a match. That didn't seem like a match for the show. It seemed like a match for the wrestlers. Mm-hmm. It seemed more of that type of a match because you got to let people express themselves in the ring finally. You got to see Balor in the makeup. You got to see, and also just all of the false finishes and everything, and then all of a sudden Tommy gets a guy up on his back, and you're like, he's like, everybody was riding a roller coaster, and then there's that huge pop. I fell for that like
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
If you wanted to talk about this match, you should have been here.
Yes, I should. Let's do part 2. After this, let's do it again.
Here's the thing. As much as he's going to tease it, I don't think he'll ever hit it.
He will.
Like, do you really think so? You
2 weeks.
Really, really think so?
2 weeks.
Really?
2 weeks or the next special.
Can we put a wager on this?
Depends on what we're wagering. How about a tasteful purchase from the NXTshop.com?
I was going to suggest one of you has to shave your head.
No.
I'm kidding.
I just went with that with my face. I'm not going with that. No.
That's not.
I'm not.
That's not funny.
No, especially not to him. That's his life. How about you, Kathy? Would you be in on that?
Yep. No.
No. There we go. And the truth hurts.
I'll shave my face.
Oh, good. You'll look completely
Actually, how
different.
about you not shave your face?
Okay.
No,
I could do that too.
No, that's her moneymaker. I wouldn't do that.
I don't know. She might get a whole
Not shaving my face? What would change?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Good question.
Find out next week on. Never mind.
You could be a dude.
Yeah, I know I keep taking it to other places, but let's stick to the show. We've got 3 more matches to get through, and then I want to talk about a little something more. So, yeah, I want to keep us on time.
Okay.
Or do I?
No,
I don't.
You don't.
I really don't.
Care.
I haven't talked about wrestling in 4 weeks, and I finally get to talk about it.
It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. It's got the verbal diarrhea.
Little.
A bit there.
What?
Go, girl.
Anyways, backstage, Byron
Sponsored.
Saxon with Natty and Tyson. Tyson is preparing for next week's match against Finn Balor. And Natty says that she can take any questions that Byron has and help him answer. Then Tyson makes Natty leave to go check on the cats. Because,
And give them milk.
yeah,
He is
his match is more important.
slowly,
obviously.
very subtly, losing his freaking mind.
I
He is becoming a cat.
I have two problems with this promo, and one of them is legitimate, one of them is not. One, they're doing the same thing where they're having a guy in full gear preparing for a match next week.
Okay.
What is it? Is he going to be there all
All right.
week?
No, that's great. Mojo Rally,
Mojo
take it
Rawley.
through the door.
Still going. I mean, he's healing, but he might be doing laps. Who knows?
He could be.
And then also, he's wearing a cat hoodie, man. Like,
He's
why?
wearing like weird gloves
and
and
it's like he's slowly turning into a cat man.
like maybe he's the third of the trio of Gold Dust, Stardust, and Cat
Dust.
Dust. I don't know.
Yeah, the
The gloves.
gloves were
Starcat.
confusing.
Starcat.
That's very Kiss. That may have to pay some royalties.
Starcat.
I think he was trying to
Starman and Kiss.
throw together an outfit, and those were just laying in back. He's like, "Oh, I'll use those." Not things.
So weird. I mean, because they're doing the Masters of the Universe thing on the main roster.
Yeah.
Like, why? I just there seems to be just like a time difference.
He keeps you guessing. I will say that it's really entertaining. Whenever he's there, cutting a promo, it is very entertaining.
Yeah.
He keeps you guessing, and you have no clue what's going to come next.
I'll give you
He
that.
could just turn into a damn cat. I don't know. Just have a tail in the ring, like somebody puts him in a wrist lock, except it's his tail, and he sells it. Ah, my tail! Ah, my tail! Ah!
The world's first furry gimmick.
Oh wow! Oh, you went to a different place.
I didn't. You went there first.
I said he had a tail. I didn't say he liked to.
No, that's not what I'm saying either.
A furry? Do we need to look up furry and see what happens?
It was. I was about to. No, never mind. So we saw Alexa Bliss for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
How about
Speaking of
that?
furries,
No,
What?
fairies.
Oh, that's what it was.
I just mispronounced it. See, I got
Okay.
the lisp. That's what happens.
Alexa Bliss.
Bliss.
Oh, I had a lisp too.
Bliss.
Okay. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha.
Sasha
Banks.
Furry. Oh, sorry.
Sasha Furry.
I'm just an
Sasha
idiot.
Daredevil.
Yeah, she was wearing her Daredevil colors. She's a nerd. Shout out to Sasha Banks. Follow on Twitter. She's really nerdy on Twitter. It's really cool. She's like half gimmick, half like, oh, Sailor Moon. It's really,
How is she?
oh, Sailor Moon. She Instagram video. It's amazing the voice she puts on for the show. It's pretty amazing. Consummate professional. Big fan.
Did we
Team
think
Bay.
that Alexa had a chance during this match?
I mean, she fought hard.
She did, but did you think that she?
No.
Yeah.
More than anything, I was happy to see her come out swinging. I wanted to see some aggression from Alexa Bliss, and that is exactly what I got to see, because there was no way she was going to win with especially Becky Lynch at ringside. There's no way.
Didn't think it was
I
going to be
mean,
clean.
Either, I mean, it's sort of the expectation. Either Sasha's going to be able to put her away clean, just because, or if Alexa Bliss gets too hot, Becky Lynch is the security on the outside.
I don't know what they're setting up for. I really don't. Like it looks like they're setting up for a tag match between Charlotte and Natty versus, even though they didn't have any sort of additional setup for that tonight. Natty just kind of showed up
Yeah.
last week. But if Charlotte's moving up and they're prepping Sasha for the title, but they already did the rematch, so what if they do? Oh, one more match. Like I don't know what they're setting up for.
If Charlotte and Natty tag team, they should be Chardonnay. Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. I'm hashtag Team Bay. I'm Team Bay all the way.
Team Bay.
Yeah, Becky and
Bay.
what?
Bay.
No, what? Why is it Team Bay? Never mind. I
Babe.
can't even.
Beb.
Bab.
Bay.
Beb.
Bab. Why does she keep the glitter? So,
Why is he so shiny?
is she actually a fairy?
Yes,
All right.
she is, dear.
Yeah.
Gosh, you are such an observant little. Shut up.
What?
Bab. I mean, roll-ups.
Speaking of your babe, Tyler Breeze.
Baby.
Well, we'll talk about this match more. I feel like you weren't done.
Well, no. It's
I
fine.
mean, it was good.
Well, no, you mentioned Tyler, and it was like, oh, Tyler.
I mean, there was a good sunset bomb by Alexa. She was.
It was a
hot.
great
was
match,
on
yeah.
It was just more for
striking.
roll-ups. Like, I want to see more out of Alexa. I know that she can do it, but we're seeing a lot of the same roll-ups that she does in every
Yeah.
match.
It's crazy to think how I feel like every single female from NXT has eventually, like, you know, once you make it to the top, you go up to the main roster. And that's not necessarily the case with the dudes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only
There's fewer,
a lot of
obviously.
different there's a lot of different ways to kind of go up, and it depends on your gimmick and
I feel like the women's division down at NXT is very small now because of that. Like, we're talking about Charlotte now moving up to the main roster, and then we have
I mean, they did.
Sasha, Becky.
What was amazing was there was a main event I think it was last week, maybe it was last week or the week before, where they did Sasha versus Charlotte. Just Sasha versus Charlotte. Here you go. They're from NXT, but watch the match, and it miles above anything what has been on that show. Not as a discredit to any of the other performers. It's just they don't get the time. Nobody gets the time, and with the NXT, there's an expectation that those matches are going to be stellar. So here, let's put the stellar match that they just had, and everybody consider it the match of the year.
If anybody should be angry on the main roster, it's the ladies.
Well,
there are opportunities.
There's a lot of people.
There are opportunities in NXT for ladies that do not exist on the main roster.
Yeah, Charlotte said it last week.
Plain, simple, that's it.
Charlotte said it last week. The women of NXT are revolutionizing women's wrestling, and that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Even though, there's not, they don't get their place. I still want them to have, let there be a Total Divas blow off half hour. It's like, it's the show, and then you get to see them wrestle with it like it's the actual
Total Divas was even mentioned on NXT tonight.
Yeah, well, it had to be. Like, that's where their
You gotta
storyline.
plug the stuff that makes you money.
Did you see the clip that I sent you of Paige?
Yes.
Babalooing Big E?
Let me tell you, that's wrestling
The
right
boob
there.
drums.
That's wrestling. Filling the time between traveling and what you need to do. That's wrestling right there. The majority of wrestling is messing with other people.
Yeah.
But which side of that were you on? Were you Paige or were you Big E?
I've been a little of both, baby.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
I got stuff to find.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Now we can finally talk about Tyler Breeze.
What up? Showing off my goods.
My goods.
I'm more than just a brain, Kathy Kelly. I'm also very, very
My eyes are up here, Kathy Kelly.
I'm saying my eyes aren't always up here. That's what I'm saying.
Tyler Breeze versus the
Chad Gable.
his TV debut.
Olympic wrestler.
Olympic wrestler, yeah. And now NXT wrestler.
And this was probably the best, quote unquote, jobber debut that we've seen on
No, it was
NXT.
a
Really?
really solid
think so.
debut.
Okay.
Because it was a good
I thought it was he's memorable for sure.
Yes. And he actually got the fans knew, oh, okay, all right, Tyler's going to be squashing this guy. But then they got behind him because the match, it wasn't a squash. The match started with him keeping Tyler on the ground and rolling with him.
Fancy.
The gator rolls, just
not even a gator roll.
No,
It was
yeah.
a one-handed spin around when he tried to switch the front face lock. One-handed spin, like what? Whoa, that's real wrestling right there. Not very often do you actually get to see the good guy actually out wrestle the bad guy.
Like that's
Tonight
what
you see just that.
The idea is the good guy wants to out wrestle the bad guy, but the bad guy will do anything. But
Right.
this time you actually got to see that established with Gable, and it was great.
Right. People connected with him just because they were somewhat enamored with his ability. Like that's something you don't see every day. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen that spin.
I haven't seen that in a
I
ring.
don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
That was pretty nuts.
But I mean, Breeze came back with heavy strikes and just the way that he don't touch me, like so. But like that wasn't the end of the offense. You still got the hanging rope armbar,
He almost pulled his arm off like a Ken doll.
and that
If you pulled the head off the Ken doll, they never went back on.
really.
Fun fact.
Wonder
Oh, it's
if
'cause
wonder if
the-
it
it
works
would-
the
It
same
would
for
go
Tyler
back on, but like
Breeze.
it would always fall off again.
I'm sorry. Bad memory.
It's
Do you
like
ever
when
got that
you-
I went
stuff?
through 3 Ken dolls. What?
Maybe you should stop decapitating more.
It's inaudible from the booth. What were their names?
Mantis woman.
Yeah, well,
I didn't do it on purpose.
that's what they all say.
Sure.
But then one of my favorite comments from Hobo was, goes right into a beauty shot. You don't need your arms for that. And Breeze got the win.
Yeah.
And as he was leaving, like he had the shot of himself, and you saw in the rafters behind, there was no comment about it.
If you were paying attention.
If you were paying it, well,
they said it after a commercial break.
They did, but I
I
kind of wish they didn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it would have been better if you just saw it or you didn't.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Then everybody would be talking about it. It was, I mean, we figured it out. Kathy Kelly?
Yes, we all figured it out.
Yeah, that's sure, we'll go with that. You just see a dude in the rafters. There's a heavy light on him. Looks bald.
He comes through a curtain. I didn't even know there were curtains up there.
Looks like he doesn't have any hair on his body.
And when they do the recap, or they show...
They show it again. They're just like, what
something was in the rafters.
It was a ghost. It was the Phantom of NXT.
Yeah.
Marcus Louis.
Are they going to make a Scooby-Doo NXT version now?
Spoiler alert, please.
Spoiler alert.
They're actually doing another Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, Lord God.
But this Hogan's going to be in it.
I'm surprised he wasn't in the first two.
He was in TNA for those. Anyway, so Star TV, you watch a review. But
not according to him. He's probably just forgot all about that.
Yeah, probably.
Much like everybody else.
As much, and I know I was just talking about CJ Parker, and we want to do we want CJ Parker and Tyler Breeze again. But Marcus Louis and Tyler Breeze works.
Actually, that's made for each other. Mm-hmm. The ugly guy versus the pretty guy. Yeah, it's made for each other.
Yeah.
Ultimate Uggo.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had that one match, and then Louis just sort of left. So hopefully, what I would love for it to be is Marcus Louis holds Tyler Breeze up to a standard of beauty and thinks he thinks that he's perfect and wants to be just like him. So he ends up doing the creepy follower thing where all of a sudden he's got a blonde wig. He's got furry pants. He's got furry boots.
That's been done,
and has it been done in NXT?
Here's what I want to see. I want to see vignettes. He kidnaps Tyler Breeze, takes him to the rafters in a secret thing, and dresses him up.
That's been done.
What about going back to like an old fairy tale where he basically said he's like the ugly person, and then he says, "Well, if you don't find your inner beauty, I'm gonna make you ugly."
Right.
To Tyler Breeze.
I've been saying this all along. He's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I've been saying it. Yeah. It's coming to fruition. He lives in the rafters. If there was a bell up there, I'm sure there will be bells next week. All of a sudden, it'll just be like a large bell out of nowhere. People will be confused. But it'll be Marcus Louis. He installed a bell so he could really be the Hunchback of Notre Dame in NXT. The Hunchback of Notre NXT. Notre NXT.
No.
Which is now on the market as a treatment for erectile dysfunction. See, it's a tie-in. They're making money all over the place. Advertisements. I'm a brilliant marketing strategist.
Devin Taylor backstage.
No, sell me. Fine.
Yeah, you hire an NXT because this guy, keep him away.
I got ideas. I got great ideas all over the place.
You've got ideas.
All over the place.
Yep. I'd agree with that one.
It's like one of those weird like serial killer walls where they've got like the things connecting and it's like, yeah, it's the yarn.
Devin Taylor backstage with Finn Balor. Balor says that next week Kid is going to need more than 9 lives to beat him.
I think it's going to be a stellar match. I think it's
just it should be really
absolutely fantastic. It's hard to have bad matches on NXT anymore. It really is. They hold up so well. It would be nice to have a bad
match to change pace.
Because even with the one botch,
guys seem a lot better.
Even with that one botch last week, it was still a good match.
Yeah, it was
super solid.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason is for that? Do we think that it's because they have a month, or it's only a day or two that they're actually taping, and so they have more time to prepare for their TV matches, per se, or is it just the caliber of writing and the caliber of wrestlers down there is that much better?
It's part of the writing, but it's also the fact that these guys aren't on the road. They're actually in the gym, in the facility, 6 days a week, training and working on stuff. So they're constantly in the mode to create and working on their craft. Not necessarily on the road, as a lot of main roster guys are.
They are on the road in a sense where their live events are, 3 hours each way.
It's local road, though.
It's so much easier than, traveling
worldwide,
the entire state of Texas in one day.
I don't know, because you had Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville touring when Neville was the champion, and the matches would be stellar. They would get maybe 5-10 minutes, but it would still be they'd get their stuff, some of their stuff in, and but it would still just be an amazing match for main event or whatever. I don't know. It definitely, I agree that it's a different mindset because they're not on the road all the time. But I think it's more writing. I honestly think it's more writing for the main roster than it is for the NXT.
If we believe the rumors, several of the guys who are at the top of NXT have also been on the road while they're doing NXT.
Yeah.
Whether they're the bunny or they're just traveling with them or whatever.
But there is also, there seems to be one of the rumors that I want to talk about. Huge rumor, a grain of salt, is that Vince does not like how well NXT is being received more so than the main roster. Huge rumor, which is why people are essentially dead in the water once they transfer. Because with Adam Rose, his gimmick was fine. It was absolutely fine if you promoted it in the right way. It worked really well because of all of the people that it was. And then they went right to the party pooper gimmick. They went right to that and the serious guy who's like, party's over. If you were going to put him there, why did he ever become Adam Rose? Why didn't he just stay Leo Kruger? Because then you completely negated the whole party atmosphere just because it's about the bunny for the kids. Don't do the, like, you made the bunny, make it about the lemon. Huh? But also, and the thing with Bo, him getting deflated, he had a winning streak because he believed. Oh, then he lost. Oh, whatever. And now with the Ascension, people are kind of hot on them because of the comments they made on Monday.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because where else are you going to get new talent from other than your developmental?
It's something that I've talked about on the show before. Is NXT is making people ready for an ecosystem that is not ready for them. The main roster is not able to accept the new people because they can't get rid of the old people. Like they're too high on some folk, and not like, why would you even bring these people up if they're not? You say they're ready, but they've held championships. They've got stronger presence, stronger chance than everybody else. The people are behind them, but the only reason that you brought them up was so that they can do tea commercials and backstage segments, and then you even change that. Like there is room for comedy stuff, but they're also not giving that enough time. It's not ready.
The best analogy I can come up with is it's a tree. WWE is a tree, and you admire a tree for its leaves. Now, right now, the leaves are real ugly. They're not looking so great, but we're watering the hell out of the roots. Nobody appreciates the roots, and it doesn't necessarily affect the leaves right away, but it takes time from the bottom up to make the whole tree stronger. Now, we've got great wrestlers right now nobody knows about. They're basically, the kids don't watch the main roster stuff. They don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
So you got great talent nobody knows about. And it's going to take time for that talent at the very bottom to go through the whole system and make it better.
It's slowly happening.
It takes a lot of time.
It's happening right now because Rollins is on top. All of the Wyatts are on top.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see what's happened with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. The fact that Harper already has a singles championship is...
Well, Rowan just got fired, so...
Yeah,
about that.
And then Reigns, quote-unquote, supposedly poised to take the top spot in the company.
And he was on the mic the other day. It was a lot better.
Big E was featured in a segment on Total Divas.
Yeah,
he's made it. No, but I and that's another thing. That whole New Day crew, it seems like something that they put together themselves, that they're giving some time, but deserves all the time in the world because all three of those guys are absolutely fantastic. They have a chance to be themselves. And
they're emotionally invested in that gimmick.
Yes,
they really are.
Like the fact that they're not involved in they're not really involved in the tag team division, and we could have another stable of three that are exchanging the tag team championships, where one day it'll be Kofi and Big E, then the next it's Woods and Big E, or Kofi and Xavier defending the titles. Either we don't have that. The people are connecting, but creative isn't listening, is what it seems like.
I don't know. It's a different game. You're writing 3 hours of television versus writing 1 hour of television.
You're writing 3 hours of television, and then also...
It's so padded.
Well, it's watered down. You can have a nice glass of scotch, but when you add like 2/3 water to it, it's not as good.
But it's also when you're on the road like that and, your main guy gets hurt, 24 hours before the show that you already wrote and you have to scrap everything and rewrite, that's challenging.
That I agree, that is challenging, but there are plenty of guys. Vince received a lot of flack with his interview for Austin because he said there aren't enough guys like.
Well, we talk about
the brass ring.
We talk about that NXT works so well. A lot of the reason why that's happening is because of the storylines and them being so fluid, where you can't necessarily have that on the main roster.
The storylines wouldn't matter as much if the talent wasn't good enough to fulfill them. That's what I think. If you even with a bad storyline, you could probably get a good match out of some great workers. The promos may not be so good, but you could at least get a good match out of it. And even if it was nobody, even if it was Enzo versus well, I mean they already did the Marcus Louis bit, but even if it was two people that have no chemistry whatsoever, Enzo's not allowed to talk like that, and he just goes into the ring, he could still put on a good, entertaining match where he tells a great story with whoever he's in the ring with, because everybody down there is that good. And that's what's been shown when NXT has been featured on the main roster. The tag team match before Fatal 4-Way, phenomenal, because they
crowd got into it.
Yeah, and they're this NXT really is something because of the performers, and they're not getting even with the crappy storyline, the Ascension, or the really questionable, I should say, gimmick. The Ascension is still really powerful, and hopefully they'll get a chance to do.
They're great.
Yeah, that's the thing. The ring work is there for NXT because the training is there. But it's the writing that, okay.
We went on the biggest tangent of all time. We are coming towards the end of our show, so we do have to talk about the last match of the night, the Vaudevillains versus the Lucha Dragons in a title match. What do you guys think of this? Yeah.
Beyond solid.
It was really good. Yeah. Vaudevillains looked the way they should. They looked completely in control when they were in control. They looked like they were smart, and they were strong and resourceful, and they knew what they were doing. It didn't always work out for them necessarily the way they wanted to. When Aiden English dumped Sin Cara out of the ring, Sin Cara grabbed his legs and pulled him right back out.
But it wasn't just a dump. It was a roll up. It was a roll out of the ring.
Well, that's a dump.
Well, okay.
You dump a guy out of the ring.
That's okay.
It's intentional. A dump is when you just say, "Get the hell out of here."
Okay,
and that's exactly what he did. But it turned around on him.
It showed how much the Vaudevillains use every piece of the ring.
And it showed how the Lucha Dragons can sort of come off of anything and create an offense.
Also using every single part of the ring. Like these two could probably go back and forth. You wouldn't think that these two gimmicks were really compatible, but it's the performers that really sell it.
They're compatible in their incompatibility. You have, like I said before, it's color versus black and white. I mean, there really not a whole lot about these two teams that intersect. There's not a lot of similarities, but the difference is they're able to make them interesting.
Yep.
Not necessarily clash, but actually work together in a back and forth. It's very, very interesting to watch.
And it's a wonder now with the Ascension gone, what the tag team scene is going to look like in NXT.
What tag team scene?
Well, we've got Blake and Murphy. And I guess Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger, even though I thought they occasionally, when they need them, it'll be a wonder to see who they can bring up for another tag team. Still thinking
maybe they'll have that tag team thing resurgence again. Mechanics are still
the mechanics are still a thing.
Arguably a thing.
Kind of.
Sort of.
When they need somebody to sell. Really, really solid match. Really solid match. Yeah. A lot of fun double team stuff, and again, pay-per-view quality. Mm-hmm. That's what NXT is. NXT is a pay-per-view quality show.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Definitely. Well, I know I'm excited for next week. The show will be Wednesdays. I believe we will still be on Thursdays.
For right now, we will still be on Thursdays.
But we will keep you guys all posted on when we will be doing our live after show. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on this week or next week?
I mean, next week, we already said it. It's got the air of a special. It's got the air of a network special. And we're getting Bull and Baron next week, which I hope
everyone's been waiting for.
I hope it's a non-finish. I really do.
How is the question? How could it be a non-finish? These two just automatically take it outside and just don't let up and get counted out right away?
No, and the match never starts.
My feet. Ooh,
The match never starts. They just beat the hell out of each other, and the match never starts.
One man starts in the ring, another man's on the ramp. They meet on the ramp, and it just never makes
and they
it
just
into the
beat
bell.
the living crap out of each other.
That's what I want to see. My fear is that it ends quickly. I don't want to see it end quickly. No.
I want a Taz Sabu build. I was telling him that was a match that was a year in the making, where one guy kept calling out the other guy, just like, get here. I mean, the other guy wasn't working for the company, but was going to come back eventually. So they were just building and building and building. And the fans were like, need this. I want this right now. And eventually it happened where he showed up. And the fans went crazy. And just before, like right as they locked up, it was like a movie. They blacked out the ring for TV, and then they had a pay-per-view match to do the blow-off. These are two guys that I think can really go the distance. And Bull is an excellent person to bring a full match out of Baron Corbin. And I think the rock in this relationship is Bull Dempsey. Love Bull Dempsey.
Hey, it's
big fans of Bull Dempsey here at AfterBuzz.
Absolutely, he's great. And some people just aren't so hot on him, and I don't understand.
People are more hot on Baron because he's the rebel.
Oh, Baron Corbin, blah blah blah. No, man, I'm telling you,
Bull's put on more actual matches as opposed to just squashes.
Bull Dempsey can go. The man can go. All you've seen of Baron Corbin is two things: he can punch, or three things. He can punch, he can kick, and he can hit that finish, and that's it.
So what you're saying is you don't like Bull Dempsey?
Wait,
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. I thought I blacked out again.
It's happened 4 times. It's just more. We're also, as they keep doing the unstoppable guy who hits his finisher and that's it. Yeah. And it got really tired with Ryback, and now he's actually doing matches, which is fine since coming back. But they did it with Mojo, and that didn't work. And they're keep trying to. They're doing it with the Ascension.
I was wondering. I am still wondering when this train is gonna run out and people turn on Baron Corbin. It's going to happen.
Like he hits the thing and then Bull kicks out and he's like, well, what do I do now? Because we saw his debut match was really cool. We're like, this kid's gonna go places, and now he's back, but he hasn't done anything since.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just the same stuff. I mean, it's cool. The production value that they put into him is great.
It's the bad kind of consistency.
Yeah.
Right.
It was the consistency with the Ascension that we were complaining about before they turned it and made it more interesting. We were waiting for Baron to be a little bit more interesting.
Agreed.
Excited for next week.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about wrestling again next week.
Deal.
We should do it every week.
Yes.
We kind of do.
Well, you do. I've been gone.
Please leave your thoughts in the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, we're going to respond.
Rate us, subscribe to us on iTunes.
Overexcited Labrador retriever.
You guys.
I know you're trying to wrap up. I'm sorry.
And you can talk to us on social media in the meantime. Where can they follow you guys?
You go first, Hobo.
Okay, fine. I am at True Hobo on the Twitter. BoxcarSuperstar.com. My website, ProWrestlingTees.com. / Hobo.
There you go.
Is my t-shirt store.
Blacked out again.
I black out a lot. I'll tell you, it's these damn concussions.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
That's not funny at all. You can find me on Twitter at Soapbox Mark, and you can find the two of us at Soapbox Card TV. We're currently on hiatus doing production things, and Pixie's getting a shining.
Stuff exploded!
Whoa.
There were explosions!
There actually were explosions. But yeah, I'm so excited to be back, Heather. You have no idea.
Well, it was good to have you back.
Thank you.
I could tell how excited. Just a little bit.
I thought it was a little reserved today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try speaking up a little more next time.
My title, I have it. It's just not here. I sort of have it. It's at a pawn shop. I owe the guy some money. Long story short.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelly. You can find me on Instagram at Kathy Kelly. You can find all of us here on Twitter
Was Kathy
and
Kelly
Instagram.
still taken on Instagram?
No, I just chose to have my actual name. Pretty good stuff. You can follow all of us here
Kathy,
on
calm down.
Twitter and after.
Flip
everything.
this computer.
Ah!
I'm gonna
See
break
that
this
shit?
table. I'm gonna
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.